What is going on, guys? It is Fluxified here and welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at the new devlog number 37 for Rust Console Edition. Now, at the time of this recording, this was posted earlier today, and I do believe it reveals some quite interesting things about the future for Rust Console Edition. So let's go ahead and read it together. Hello survivors, we hope you have been enjoying the first glimpses from the next gen version of Rust Console Edition. There's a lot more that will be revealed as we get closer to release, so sit back and enjoy what's coming your way. And we have a screenshot following that, and I mean, looking at it, I think it's from the next gen version. It does look very nice, I must say. You can see the sun cutting through the trees, and they continue. Bringing Rust to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One was no small feat. Optimizing the games for these platforms while staying within hardware limitations, especially memory constraints, has been a significant challenge. That is fair, because obviously those consoles did release quite a while ago. While we've pushed the current version as far as it can go, adding more features like land vehicles, minicopters or bigger maps would compromise the gameplay experience. Okay, so clearly, you know, they're referencing that we do want these things, so shows they've been listening. Okay, we know how much you want these additions, and to be honest, so do we. However, older gen consoles are already at their limit when running the game, and adding features like that on top of what we already have would cause serious FPS drops. A native Gen 9 version of Rust Console Edition for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S is clearly the solution. This version will deliver better visuals, improved performance, and open up possibilities for many of the features that you've asked for. Okay, so it does seem, just by looking at this, that they are hinting about us getting those features. I mean, they say here adding more features like land vehicles, minicopters, and bigger maps. That's what they say above. And they've said that we want these additions, and they do too. And then they go on to say that this next gen version will open up possibilities for many of the features you've asked for. So, I mean, yeah, definitely they're referencing those vehicles, minicopters, and maps. So maybe, I mean, it's definitely on the table. Hopefully they're saying that we're going to get that maybe even at launch. I mean, this is very interesting. This is very interesting. I'm excited. So then they just go on to talk about the Q&As that they've done over the week. And I mean, there are some interesting ones here. I think I've covered most of the important ones. One of the highlights is definitely that they say there will be an anti-cheat with the new next-gen version. That would be honestly amazing, because they're saying they will be able to automatically ban players that are cheating on the next-gen version. So it won't be a manual system, it'll be automatic. So, you know, best case scenario, someone connects a Cronus to their PlayStation, boom, automatic ban. You know, that is insane. If they can do something like that, that's very, very good. And then they go on to say, in the coming weeks, you can expect more answers for the questions we've gathered from the community since the announcement of the next-gen version. These will include more info about upgrades for existing players, performance stats, official server capacity and map size, public test branch community servers, and more. Okay. So the thing that sticks out to me probably the most in that little sentence is official server capacity and map size, because I haven't really talked about this too much. I might have mentioned it a couple of videos ago, but the PC version of Rust obviously has bigger maps, more players in those maps. They have player counts up to 1,000 and servers ranging from 200, 300, 400 and so on. So I mean, it seems like they're referencing that, and I mean, yeah, it seems like a possibility that we have increased player counts and bigger maps coming just from their own statement. So Fluxified from the future, just popping in to make a quick mention to the latest post that the developers have put on Twitter, specifically asking a question from the community, and the question was, will there be bigger maps and higher population servers with the next gen version? And they've put an answer to this as saying yes, although not at launch. Higher pop servers and bigger maps will be added to the game in a future update. Okay, wow. I don't know what to say. That's actually amazing to hear, because just having more players in a map, it's just going to make everything feel so much more alive. And I've been watching a few PC videos from content creators lately, and White Day on PC with those bigger servers, it's insane. There's like nakeds running around everywhere, and it just feels so chaotic, and if we get something like that, I mean, it's just going to be crazy. So that is amazing. I do just want to say, slight concern with this though. We know they are referencing vehicles coming into the game, more land vehicles, minicopters, and so on. Obviously, we don't know 100% when we're going to get that, but the developers are talking about that. My only worry is if we get higher pop servers and bigger maps, and we don't get those vehicles, as a wipe progresses, player counts often go down over time, and if the server, for instance, has one of those bigger maps, when the player count does go down, if we don't have vehicles to traverse faster around the map, it could potentially just make the map feel empty for the people that are playing if there's less people around and you can't traverse as fast because you don't have the vehicles. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, throwing it back to past Fluxified, let's go. So yeah, overall devblog 37, quite interesting I must say. As we would expect by now, they are definitely hinting towards the future and future content in the next gen version. At this point it's without a doubt, they know we want these land vehicles, the minicopters, they know that, they're referencing that. So I would say it's not going to be a question of if we get this content, but more a question of when we get this content. Because the developers have now said in their own words, having a next gen version of the game now opens up possibilities for many of the features we have asked for. So now it just seems really like it's a waiting game to see what is revealed and what we are going to get at the launch of the game. But until then, I think that's about all I can say about this devlog. Overall, it does tell us a lot of information and hints towards the future content that we will receive. Now I am going to have a video out whenever we do get any future devlogs. I am determined to cover them as soon as possible, and the same with any updates or just any other news relating to Rust Console Edition. So if you don't want to miss any of that, please make sure you are subscribed. But for now, I think that just about wraps up the video. I've been Fluxified, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the beach.